Hi there, folks, and welcome to another episode of Michael's Backyard Marina. Well, we got some work to do on finished tearing the boat apart. You guys saw in the last episode, I got the engine removed. Now I got to get the, the halves off each, the inside of the transom, outside of the transom. We're going to do that here next. But I wanted to kind of give you a rundown on this trailer. This is the trailer that came with the rinker. Well, it's a good heavy-duty trailer. This son of a gun actually has brake lines running to it that I'll most likely replace and use the brakes. I kind of like the idea of it having brakes. Not that this is the heavy trailer. Well, the trailer's heavy, but the boat's also heavy, but not as heavy as the Cobalt, which also has trailer brakes. But this had a surge brake on it. But this was an 18-foot boat. I'm getting ready to put it on a 22-foot boat. So I need to stretch this tongue out a bit. And the nice thing is this axle's already kind of far back, which is, I'm digging that a lot actually. That's gonna balance things out so I don't have, 800 pounds of tongue weight, and I'm putting a, 100-pound heavier motor back here, engine back here. And, you can see there's a lot of gap in the fender well there. And we may adjust that a little bit once I get the boat on it, because that's like off-road clearance. Which looks a little goofy, but once I put some weight back on it, and we'll see how much it settles down. But you can see right there between the gap, the spring and the frame there's not a lot of going down. I think there's some room there to make it look a little better, but I'm not trying to make it perfect. I'm not going to be doing chrome trim rings. This is Michael's Backyard Marina, not Michael's showroom marina. But we're going to actually wire wheel this up. We're going to extend this tongue. I'm going to get me another piece of tubing. This is 3" by 4" by 1/8" wall tubing. I'm going to get another 4 foot of it. And we're going to make it longer so it can handle that boat a little bit better. And then obviously we've got these mounts back here that we cut the old wood off of here. And we're going to go ahead and get us some new bunks. This had 2x4 bunks. At the very least, I'm going to probably put 2x6s and cover them with carpet. Let's go over to the boat. Hi guys, I'm walking right here next to you. So as you can see here, this one currently has 2x4 bunks with a couple of roller situations there going on. I'm not sure I care for this trailer setup at all. It's a smaller trailer. It's still got the same gauge, but smaller channel and everything. But we're gonna, while the engine's out of this, and once I've got this all off of it, the cool part is this thing's gonna be a lot lighter, and I'll be able to, I'm gonna get this boat slid backwards off of this a little bit, give some support underneath it, and get this trailer out from under it so I can start, let's just call it rough fitting that other trailer back under it is the goal. But tonight, before sunset, you guys see the sun's just now going down behind the trees, so we don't have a lot of daylight left. But let's see how fast we can get this out of here. It's only a handful of bolts, I think. We had some rain yesterday, rained and rained and rained. My umbrella here, the rope on it broke sometime today. But everything's pretty dry in here except the very bottom of the boat. Oh. See if we can step back in here. We're going to get our tools here thrown back down to the floor so I can get at them. Go. Kind of give you a rundown back here as to what we got to take off. Well, first things first, we got to pop this thing off. 3 bolts, and this thing will come loose. Here's your shift cable right here. Where'd it go? It's coming. Huh. Yep, it's hooked in up here. So we'll take these loose, this loose, get this off of here. That's all my shifter stuff. We'll get the steering piece taken off of here. This thing looks very familiar to the other one, other than I just rubbed grease all over my leg. Other than, looks like we got 2 bolts here, 2 there, and 2 down low. You know, this might be the exact same hole size as the other one, which that'll be fantastic, because that means I don't have to do any modifications to the hole that's here, and I get to put a more modern situation up in this guy. But the pattern will tell the story, and we'll see what we have to do to make it work. So I'm gonna put you over here next to me, and we're gonna get busy getting this thing off of here. Sun's going down. I've got some artificial light out here to help me along. What we're doing here, we're in the back of the 1968 Starcraft Islander, as I'm going to start affectionately call it Big Blue 68, because it's a 1968 Starcraft. I know that's not really original, but it is what it is. And I wanted to show you some of the, I always talk and preach about the, you know, do a little bit every day, a little bit every day. You know, if you do an hour a day, you'll get your project moved ahead. This is one of those things, This is one of those things that move your projects along here. And I've got it's a dirty job, but it's got to be done if you want to make a, you know, just to make things a little bit better than they are. The other cool thing is, I found an hour meter tucked away, clear up under here, screwed to the wood. And the hour meter that was on this boat said 962 hours. Now, where this was placed and how it was hanging by one screw underneath the wood, I have a feeling this might have been an add-on shortly after purchase back in 1968. I don't know for sure. John W. Hobbs Corp., Springfield, Illinois, is the make of this thing, and it's kind of cool. It says Hobbs on the back, but we're gonna see if this thing still works. Usually hour meters don't go bad very easy. They're actually built pretty durable. I might actually hook this back up and put it up toward the front of the boat so I can keep an eye on the hours on the engine. But that means somebody, you know, probably took care of this boat initially, and like all boats, they start out good, but then, you know, they sit around the yard, people get tired of them, they don't have time for them, don't want to spend the money on them. I get that. These have to be something that you're more passionate about, and not just I feel like having a boat, and then you don't have a boat after a while. So this is the task at hand here today, is going to be to clear. I've already taken everything off the back of the transom, and we're ready to clean it. As you can see, there's a lot of grease and oil stuff down here. The nice thing is the wood is solid, rock solid back. These transoms are solid. Now, what I like about the design is you see this transom drain plug here is at the very bottom. This boat won't hold more than about 1/4 inch of water back here, and that's it. Now, it's also holding a lot of dirt right now, which I'm going to scrape out and get rid of, but that's what keeps the water below, and the wood comes up, you know, 3 or 4 inches from the bottom. So it keeps the wood out of the water, keeps it from rotting. Now, what you see going on here is a lot of wear and tear. There's a battery box that sat there, where the battery sat up against there. I'm not going to put the battery back in that location. I might put the trim pump there. I'm also going to build a set of custom gas tanks. Yep, that's right. You heard it right. Build. I have purchased a TIG welder, and I've TIG welded in my youth, and I was pretty good at it, and I think I can do it again. I weld on a semi-regular basis anyway, weld things together, so TIG is just a little bit of practice, and I'll be welding up my own fuel cells. Why, you say? Well, I priced fuel cells, and in this boat, I want to carry, this is going to sound ridiculous, I want to carry 40 to 50 gallons of fuel in dual tanks back here. What it had back here was 18-gallon, or I think it was 18-gallon dual tanks back here to start with. So I'm not really adding any more than what was already here, other than a 119-pound heavier engine back here, but this boat can handle it. And, you know, because of the weight distribution, I may not have to trim this thing at all. I may have to, you know, negative trim, bring the nose down. I doubt that very much. There's a lot of boat in front of this engine. But we're going to clean this up, and this is where this is the painful part of the process for some of you to watch, but I think you're going to like it. I want to clean this up. I want to make this look really good. Why? Because it's hidden under a cover and I'll never see it, but every time I service the engine, I'll be looking at this thing when I'm done with it going, wow, that sure turned out nice. And once it's nice and clean and smooth and fresh, it might be a situation where you want to kind of wipe it down every now and then. But understandably so, this here represents over 50 years. I doubt this was cleaned very often at all. I mean, that's the original paint on there. You can tell by where the battery box was and where the paint rubbed off and what was behind the battery box. This was original paint to the boat. So it's over 50 years old. But the wood down the floor here, you can see this kind of oil soaked. Why? Because the gas tank was leaking for a long period of time, letting this wood soak up oil. This side didn't leak as much, obviously, and it's a little more dry, but it's still stained dark just from the engine fumes, oil fumes, and whatever else that goes on under an engine cover. So I'm going to go from where I've cut this here on back, and I'm going to clean this all up. What tools am I using, you say? I'm going to be using some of the super clean foaming stuff you see me use on outboards, and then this super clean here that's a spray bottle. That's, you know, it's already diluted a little bit. But my goal is to, and these are my two tools of choice, a toothbrush and a little stainless wire brush. Why? You guys think this is a big area? Well, it doesn't take long to take a toothbrush and do this and scrub some stuff up. That's what I'm saying. So we're going to get busy after this thing. I'm going to make it look good, and then I'm going to share with you. Stay tuned. You're going to have to see the paint that I'm using to cover this with, because I like it, what I've chose, and stuff was not cheap. I'll go ahead and tell you right now, it's $50 a quart. But I think it's going to do everything I want to do and then some, which will be pretty awesome. Is there going to be a cat jumping up in here? Look at that. What's up there, Mr. Kitty Cat? That cat was sticking his face right up in my boat hole. What's up with that? I don't know why boat hole just sounds funny. You've heard it before, so, and I'll probably use it a few more times in the future here. Cats are walking all over out here. I hope they're hunting mice. All right, let's get after it. We got a lot of work to do to, you know, finish out my hour a day, so to speak. All right. I think we got you a good shot right there. We got sound on. And I'm going to stop at the top and work my way down. And first things first, so I want to get a lot of this trash out of the bottom. And just throw it right off the back here, just to thin it down, so the water doesn't ever get plugged from running out. And I'm trying to clean this area up, honestly, using the least amount of water possible, because I don't want to soak this wood up with too much water. The goal is that, you know, this thing can, hopefully we have a few sunny days coming up here now, and it's going to get hot. It's supposed to be in the upper 80s, and we can dry everything out that I'm doing here. So I'm going to start up here and just spray some of this stuff up high and just work my way across, and then we'll rinse it down with a light amount of water. And I'll tell you what, this stuff, make sure you're outside. It's got some fumes to it. It's almost like oven cleaner. It's strong, but I'll tell you what, it does not like grease. And grease does not like it, because it just takes care of business. All right, need a fan. Well, like I said, see what you can do with a toothbrush here? You can get a lot of scrubbing done pretty quick. The goal is to get it clean enough so that my paint will do a good job of sticking to it and won't just flake off after a while. And what I like to do after I do that is, you know, you got some of this stuff here. This helps keep it wet. You can see how some of this stuff is just already, you know, it's not on there really strong. The paint's still there, but this helps keep it wet. And it's a good kind of wet. It's not a water wet. This isn't soaking into the wood and causing me problems right here. And I know some of this stuff I might have to touch up here and there, but at least it's allowing me to get a good base going. See, you guys were laughing at my toothbrush, but look at that. I can actually lean into this and lay that toothbrush flat and just put a lot of pressure. And when you're talking cleaning, you know, we're talking pounds per square inch here. It's starting to sound like Billy Blaze and Sham Wow or something. But that's not what I'm going for here. I just want to show you guys how easy it is to make things happen. There's a staple just stuck right there. We go. It's a good thing to rip my knuckle open on. So this will be an amazing transformation. Plus, that toothbrush will get down in the cracks and crevices better than just a sponge, or you know what I'm saying. All right, let's just have some quiet action here for a while. What you doing, cat? Got the cat that was looking through the back of the boat, now walking around on the gunnels. You gonna be my ship boat or ship cat? I think they get a kick out of walking on the covers. This grease down here was pretty thick, but we're getting through it. I think we'll go ahead and do a little rinse in here. Wow. That paint actually looks pretty good once you scrub it up just a skosh. Now here I'm using a minimal amount of water. I mean, it's still water obviously, but I'm not trying to just drench this whole boat by any means. But it does knock down what I've done to see how much more I got to do. Boy, I tell you, that foam super clean. I'm gonna have to get me some more of that. That stuff, like I said, it's oven cleaner for grease for sure, because it just makes this just come right off right here. All right, as you saw, we did a pretty good scrubbing on that transom. I showed that transom who's freaking boss. Yes, I did. Now, let's take a look at it today. In the bright daylight, with some shade, okay. There's a lot of natural light here, but I want to show you something here. And hopefully it shows up. So, it's hard to see that puddle down there. It's got about that much of a dry line all the way around it. So, left a little, let's call it a stain, if you will. Well, it dried up quite a bit. Between last night at about 9:30 at night till right now. I actually peeled the cover back for today because I knew it was going to be no rain or anything going on, so I peeled the cover back and let this dry. So I've decided this wood and everything will be dry enough to paint once that evaporates to completely gone. I've got about 2 more days, I think, and I think that once that's dry, that means the wood will be completely aired out and dried out as well, in my opinion. And then we're gonna go after it with some paint. So I just thought I'd show you what it looked like, and I thought it turned out pretty good. Really, really clean. The wood looks nice. I can see wood grain on a lot of this that I couldn't see wood grain before. It was actually just dark. So anyway, that took a total of, let's call it an hour and a half to get that amount of cleaning done. So a little bit of elbow grease with the toothbrush. I think we got some pretty good results. We'll check back in it again and we'll see what it looks like tomorrow. All right, folks, here we are back in the boat, all cleaned up, scrubbed up, dried up. This is about 3 days later. I scrubbed this out on a Monday and this is Thursday. I had a puddle of water down here originally. I thought, well, I'm going to uncover the boat, pull the cover off every day. We got nothing but sunshine and breeze going on. And that's going to give me the ultimate drying that I can get on this floor after I scrubbed it and soaked it down. This thing is dry as dry gets. Now it's time to paint. And I'm kind of excited. Now, I'm not a big fan of painting. I actually despise painting for the most part, unless it's for something that's going to be, cool. So I'm going to get you in here, see if I can get you an angle. We're going to start on the starboard side of the boat here and start painting. I'm going to put all fresh paint on this and on the floor that I've got it cut back to. You guys ask, why are you doing the floor? Well, the floor is getting done for the simple reason I want to seal it up. And I want to seal it up real good. Because I want it, right now just bare wood like this, if I'm going to put any kind of, let's just call it EVA foam or any kind of adhesive foam deck covering down on here, it's not going to stick what I would call awesomely well to a bare wood floor. So we're going to put something that seals it up a little more than it's currently sealed up. And you guys are asking what color and what kind of paint are you using? So I'm using this Total Boat Wet Edge 1 part polyurethane topside paint. Maximum durability and UV protection, which I don't need here. Superior color and gloss retention. Not worried about that. Flexible finish, will not crack, lift, or peel. I'm all about that. What color? Well, classic whaler blue. And why would I put any other color on big blue? Yep. So let's get busy. I got me I don't know if it's probably a medium grade soft tip Worcester brush. I'm just gonna, we're just gonna start coating things with paint here. Wow, first thing I noticed with this stuff, it covers really quick and really well. So let's get up in this corner. And here in the engine compartment, I'm not too worried about, getting this on my aluminum and on other nuts and bolts. We're going after just getting this coated and covered and all one beautiful color again. I'm even going to go after the wood that's up under here that's, never sees moisture or anything, but let's just give it some paint too. I think I've got enough here with a whole quart. Now, if you guys are wondering how much this blue paint cost, well, this stuff is not cheap. It is $49 a quart. And I know you can buy a whole gallon of other paints for that same money. But we're going for some high quality, high durability paint. And I'm working it in all the little holes and cracks and crevices that are up here. Because yeah, I'll be screwing some stuff back to this wall. And that's fine, but we're going to start off. Now we ain't doing spackle and all that fun stuff. But yeah, wow, this got a good, strong industrial smell to it, I'll tell you that. And I have no idea how fast it's going to dry. But it looks like I can tip this in pretty well. It looks like it's going to just lay out there perfect for me. So far anyway. Well, I can tell over here where I've done brushing it, the brush strokes just all but disappear. Man, I like this stuff. Nice thing about the high gloss and the smoothness is if I ever decide just to wipe this down back here, get in and clean up the engine compartment a little bit, it will wipe off with a little degreaser really well, it looks like. Boy, this wood here on the edge is just drinking up the paint. I can't put it on there thick enough. That's okay. That's what. Let her drink it up. Some of this good old blue goodness here, and just seal that sucker down and up and good. Oh, you know what I mean. There it is, one coat done. Whaler blue. As you can see, this wood down here and the wood on the transom there that has never been coated before really drinks it up. So that's all going to get 2 coats. Everything's going to get 2 coats and then we'll be done. Awesome. All right, you guys get the idea what old Big Blue is going to look like on the inside. I will not bore you with the second coat. The next time you see the inside of the boat, my goal would be is when we're reinstalling this apparatus right here. The next video, we're going to cover in depth how to rebuild, clean up, take apart, rebuild this particular one. This is an old version. It's like an in-between version. It still had pins that held things in versus screwed in lugs, but it had the, you know, the undercarriage where the hoses went up through the bottom instead of through the side here, which simplifies things a little bit in my opinion. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video so far. Stay tuned, more to come. We're going to keep plugging away on Big Blue here until we have it in the water. So every week we're going to get more progress done on Big Blue. I'd like to be moving faster than I am, but I can't move faster than I can. Does that make any sense at all? But yeah, we already cleaned this up. I put this in the solvent tank. Got a whole bunch of grease out of here. I can actually see that there's a bolt inside here. But we're going to take this thing apart, wipe it down, clean it up, re-grease it, put a new gimbal boot on it, put a new exhaust boot on it, put a new shift cable boot on it, and possibly a new, yeah, most likely a new shift cable itself before we're all said and done here. So keep watching, more to come. I hope you guys are enjoying the series here from all the way from the Rinker. Well, you know, we got the Rinker, brought it home, got it running, pulled the engine, and we're going to breathe new life. Not that there was bad life with the old 4-cylinder, but it had almost 1,000 hours on it, which on a boat motor, I don't know what that would equate to for a regular engine that isn't under just always load, you know. But if any of you guys know what 1,000 hours of boat life engine represents, you know, is that engine half wore out, 3/4 worn out, done, ready for another engine? I don't know. 1,000 hours is a lot of hours on an engine, period. I've had my lawnmower that I use for 2 hours every week in the summertime, and it only has just over 250 hours after 5 years. So 1,000 hours on that's going to mean that that mower is 20 years old, basically. So I don't know if that helps put it in perspective or not. Anyway, there we go, rambling on like I always like to do. This is Michael saying, if it ain't broke, fix it till it is. And we're going to take another look at that Whaler Blue after we have the second coat on it, and we're ready to start putting this apparatus back in the boat. We're getting close, folks. All I got to do is take this apart, clean it up, and the other part, all I got to do is just clean it up. And once we get that all bolted back in there with my Sikaflex, you guys have probably watched the video already on what a sealant I'm going to use. I am going to use Sikaflex along with my neoprene gasket. That thing's going to be locked up tight. When I go to take that back apart again, you might as well cut the transom out of the back of the boat. So, now what somebody did say, I can't remember which one it was now. Golly, it's one of my regulars. You know who you are. When he left a comment, he goes, well, what you ought to do is fiberglass that hole shut and then cut that transom down and then mount yourself an outboard on the back of it and get rid of the I.O. Yeah, I get it. I.O.s aren't for everybody. I question myself why I am drawn to these. I think it has to do with the old nostalgic 2.5 and 3 liter 4-bangers, and the 6-cylinders are just a throwback to a different time, and just a different design and build on these things. But also coming up soon, I picked up another free boat. Let's call it a free boat. It's got an engine in it. It's got the inline 6. I'm tinkering around with that. That video's coming out. I'll be working on that pretty soon. That one I'm going to do something a little different. I actually soaked down the engine with the interior, you know, pull the spark plugs out, and I put a good quart of Marvel Mystery Oil in there and a whole can of PB Blaster down each hole just to get it moving. And I got it to go screech, screech with the water pump and the belt. It went around about a half a turn, and then I kind of ran out and the belt kind of gave way and it wasn't doing belty things anymore. But I got it to move. Now, is it a great engine? I don't know. I put the borescope down in it. It needs a little love, but it's not that bad either. It also looked pretty good. So I picked up the boat for free. I got an engine and an outdrive out of the deal. That one I'm going to show you guys, and I think this is something that'll help benefit a lot of you, is what to do when you got an engine, right? Follow this video, that series. What do you got when you got an engine, and where do you start? Well, this is going to be one this is where you start. So if you've been watching and you've got a 4-cylinder or 6-cylinder that you've got and you haven't ran yet, and you watch that series. It's going to be coming soon, and it's going to help you out a lot. I'm going to show you how you start the engine with it out of the boat. It's very simple. You guys are going to be so shocked to see how simple it is. Those of you that know already know. Those of you that are kind of getting new into the boat world and into this stuff, we're going to take it back to basics and we're going to keep it simple. This is Michael. I think I already said it once. You know, ain't broke, fix it till it is. We'll see you on the next video. Take care, you guys. I love y'all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And leave me some comments. Leave me some comments. I like actually reading the comments. My wife reads a lot of the comments, and I answer back as many of them as I can, folks. I'm out of here.